period of my life that I went through was really dark, and I became very depressed, and my only way of really coping with it was through my eating disorder. So I just stopped eating, and that was my way of coping with it.
Her depression would eventually lead to urges to cut herself.
I've suffered from cross addictions over the past few years. I was trying to control my eating disorder, trying to get help for it. And when I was taking care of those things, the urges to do that came up. So for me, it was okay to do that because I wasn't throwing up anymore.
Last fall, Demi checked into a residential treatment center, Timberline Knolls. What was the darkest point for you?
I can't really pinpoint a darkest point for me because over the past few years I've had so many. I guess my darkest period was going into treatment for that first 48 hours and not having any communication with the outside world, even letting some people know that I was in there. I couldn't talk to anyone, and I was just kind of shocked to be in such a different environment.
It was there she learned a shocking new diagnosis. Demi was bipolar.
I had no idea that I was even bipolar until I went into treatment. I was actually manic a lot of the times that I would take on workloads, and I would say, yes, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. I was conquering the world, but then I would come crashing down, and I would be more depressed than ever.
During 3 months of inpatient treatment, Demi learned new ways to manage her emotions.
Today I'm learning how to cope with issues and cope with urges and things like that in healthy ways. Like, I picked up knitting. Who would ever thought that, I knit on a Saturday night, watching TV? I totally do. I'm a knitter.
Lovato says it was the thought of her little sister Madison, the young star of Desperate Housewives, that got her through her darkest days of treatment.
I had to think of her all the time when I was really, really rough, but I just kept thinking, okay, set this example for your little sister. And even though it may be hard to, wake up in the morning, there were days where I just didn't want to get out of bed. And looking at a picture of my little sister on my little bulletin board was one of the main things that kept me going.
For Demi, there is hope for all in what she once battled alone.
If I can prevent one person today from having the wrong friends, from cutting for the first time, to embarking on a horrible long journey with an eating disorder, if I can just change one life by this message, by saying, don't go there, then I'm done.
Boy, there's really a girl you see struggling to figure herself out.
Sure.
Right there. And it's touching the way that, she got that strength by thinking about her sister.
Yes, her little sister, who's also an actress, and that's what she wanted to do, be an example for her. And her father, Demi's father, was there when I was doing the interview. And when Demi said that about thinking about her little sister, her father got very emotional in hearing about that.
And this revelation about finding out she had this diagnosis of bipolar, that actually, you did this interview before all the Catherine Zeta-Jones stuff was in the news.
Thanks for bringing that up. It was a couple of weeks ago that I sat down with Demi, and then when Catherine Zeta-Jones just recently revealed that she was bipolar, Demi sent her a tweet, and people were wondering, of support. People were like, why is she? Now people know. But this interview was before that diagnosis, and tomorrow night on 2020, we go into further detail on that, and when she started cutting at the age of 11, so much more on 2020 tomorrow.